that you just can't break.
James Hazell on BBC Radio Suffolk.
As I'm sure you are aware, mental well-being, very much the catchphrase of 2020. And they say that talking to people helps. What about artificial intelligence? Matt Porter of Matt Porter Web Design comes on the show to talk about Inspector Gadget. Are you going with that? Do you like that one, Matt?
I'll cope with it.
Yeah, you cope with Inspector Gadget. Now, artificial intelligence, another big buzzword of the last decade. And now there's this possibility of a chat box where you are actually having a conversation with a machine, Matt.
That's right. Yeah, there's a news story which is over the last couple of days, which talks about a lady called Alexa Jet who was suffering quite badly, I think, from depression, really relating to the fact that she'd been through a cancer diagnosis and then lost a friend of hers.
Yeah.
And she began using a mental health chatbot called. Oh dear me, I had it in front of me. I wrote it down and I can't remember what
memorable
it was.
Name.
But yes, memorable. She was using a mental health chatbot called Vivibot. Right. And basically she was really sort of bedridden. She couldn't get out of bed. She was so depressed and finding life so difficult. So she had this little chatbot and it would very gently get her motivated. So I think one of the first things it said was, why don't we make a goal? And then got her to paint her toenails, as a start, and slowly, if you like, encouraged her to get up and get on with life again. And basically because it was a funny, friendly personality and it was there 24/7.
Wow, I never really given it a second thought. I mean, you, like me, we probably have little late-night conversations with our smart speakers, and we do it as a bit of fun, and we know that it's just a machine at the other end. But I guess if there are no options, and you're explained that it's been programmed by a human, so you're kind of talking sort of to a human, that can make a difference.
You're talking to a human, so you're talking to a system that's been taught sentiment and context and what they call natural language processing. So when you ask it a question, it can to a large degree understand the context of the question, which is why we have so much success, I guess, with our smart speakers or with our Siri or Google on our phones, because those systems now understand the context of the question, and that's made it a lot easier to say, rather than say, what's the weather going to be like tomorrow in my town? You can say, is it going to rain tomorrow? Or will I need an umbrella? Those kind of things. So this is to do with the fact that the hardware behind all of these systems has become powerful enough now to be able to process this information live and produce sensible answers.
I still wonder if the so-called uncanny valley plays a part in that, quite often you are reminded that it's a machine and, that lessens the experience.
I think that there's been many examples of this uncanny valley, which is where we as human beings become uncomfortable talking to something that isn't quite right, and be that a robot or whatever. And I think that's why smart speakers are popular, because it's absolutely blatantly obvious that is a speaker the shape of a puck or something. Whereas you'd have to go much further towards looking very, very human before we didn't start becoming uncomfortable. So there's a balance there, and at the moment I think it's smart speakers and looking at screens probably, rather than having an avatar on the screen talking to you.
Yeah, I've just got mine in front of me now.
These are the top results.
Yeah, I've just asked it if it's going to rain. Is it going to rain tomorrow?
No, it won't rain in Ipswich tomorrow.
See,
it will be partly cloudy, with a high of 7 and a low of 3.
So whilst that might sound really basic, it knows where I am. It knows how to phrase it in a way. It knows that I might want a bit more information about the weather. So it's kind of on the way there, isn't it?
Yeah, there's been trials going on in the States where if you're using Google's Android phones, you can say, book me a hair appointment for 2 p.m. next Thursday, and it will make the phone call for you using artificial intelligence and have a conversation with somebody at your hair salon, book the appointment, and then email you back to say, yeah, it's all done, you're in there next week.
I can't see that being an issue for me, Matt, I'll be honest with you.
Or a beard trim.
Yeah. A beard trim, possibly. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what should how can I prove that it's a machine? What question could I ask where the reply is going to be, oh, that's obviously a machine then?
There is what's called, I believe, the Turing test,
right,
which is a known set of rules which computer scientists use in order to decide whether or not they're talking to a human or a chatbot. And I believe there have been chatbots. I can't remember. I believe it was IBM had a chatbot which actually broke the test. In other words, they couldn't actually decide whether or not they were talking to a human or to a computer. But yeah, it's called the Turing test. Okay. So that's the thing you look up on Google if you want to find out what things they're doing.
Let me ask it. Hang on a second. I'll ask. Would you pass the Turing test?
I don't mind if you can tell I'm not human. As long as I'm helpful, I'm all good.
Oh, now that's a decent enough reply, right?
There you go, see? It knows context.
Yeah,
scary.
It does. Brilliant. Thank you so much, the Gadget Man, Matt Porter of Matt Porter Web Design, on the possible future of interaction for our own well-being. Thank you, Matt. Have a good New Year.
Travel news from BBC Radio Suffolk.
All right, cheers. Bye-bye. Bye. There you go. So that's me on the radio.